So I know this story already exists, but I'm going to make the old Yella into my story. You know, I did the same thing with Spider-Man. Years ago, I made Spider-Man, and I told a story of what would have been funny if it would have happened in this specific order. So we're going to we're making a movie. We're making a story telling. It's me telling a story. I can't make a movie because I don't know how the visuals to show you the movie. I don't have the editing to show you like a cartoon of it. But here's the story of Old Yella. Back in the day, there lived the Janet family, and they had and they were married with two kids, Sally and Jimmy, and they were had this dog. When they decided to buy a dog and named it Old Yella, and it did backflips. It jumped on the trampolines. They decided they were going to make this Old Yella dog famous. So they made him famous. They got him into the commercial business, making dog food commercials and stuff like that. They said, "Oh, this dog is going to be a blessing to our lives." And eventually they had to cut the commercials when they got rich because they missed the dog so much that they had to make him unfamous because they were about to take the dog away from the family, remove the dog from the family just so they could get rich off the dog and travel around the world, make movies around the world. And they didn't want that, so they cut the deal short so they could keep the family dog at home. But this is what happened. The girl out of the dog liked the dog better than the boy liked the dog. And one night they were arguing. They were arguing at first. They were saying, "No, I want Old Yella to sleep in my room because I get scared at night. I want Old Yella to sleep in my room because I get scared at night." Said, "You don't want him to be scared at night. You act like you're dating that dog." And and then she says, "How would you know? I don't show no signs I'm dating that dog, and that's a very sick question to ask me." And said, "I want Old Yella to sleep in my room because I can't sleep at night. We want to have a guys' night and watch TV, me and Old Yella. If we would have bought a female dog, we would have had you have a girls' night with your dog." She said, "Old Yella, I like Old Yella, and I want him to sleep in my room," is what Sally said. And Jimmy got tired of arguing, so said, "Okay, I'll cut you a deal. Since I'm afraid of the dark and want that light on or get scared at night, I'll cut you a deal. If you give me one of your American Girl dolls to sleep with at night, I'll let you take Old Yella to your room and call it a deal. That'd be $28 if you take one of my American Girl dogs to your room." And so he pays her $20. She gives him the doll. So which one do you want? There's Tangerine, there's Blondie, there's Layla. Okay, I'll take Layla. Said, and she says, "Layla got me on my knees," and this video is gonna be rated R, by the way, because the next thing she did, because there's some funny jokes and jokes in this video are not for kids. So, but the next thing she does is she goes and throws them box of you know what, and closes and said, "You need some of my magazines." No, don't need your magazines. Don't need nothing. Don't need nothing. Just take Old Yellow back to your room. And the next morning, she said, "Your rent. You need to bring that American doll back to my room by tonight, unless you're going to pay me another $20 to keep it overnight, or you get a late fee and you have to pay me $40. Okay." So he gets allowance. Every allowance he gets. Going to the store, Jimmy. to buy some snacks. No, I'm good. I'd save my money for something else. He doesn't want to say to his parents that he's been spending money to pay for that American Girl doll every night named Layla, and he's secretly having a relationship with, but his sister knows about it, but his parents don't. So next day, old Yellow comes out of the room. They go for a walk. They go to the walk, and Old Yellow, they go catch some fish, and we're almost out of time with this fish, so we got to get fast. Old Yellow gets bit by a bat. He gets bit by a bat in his neck. And his sister doesn't want to say anything because she doesn't know he would get rabies. So back to the story goes, so you done with that American Girl doll yet? You got other American Girl dolls. So I'll just pay you another $20 and keep it. As long as I get to keep Old Yellow in my room, I don't care how long I keep that doll for. As long as I get my money, I'm going to be rich by the time you get done with that doll. And so what happened was Old Yellow gets rabies the next night. And he goes, and this story is like really, really inappropriate, but he gets rabies. And the dad and mom says, Old Yellow's got rabies. We're gonna have to come with a family plan to shoot that dog. We have to put it down. You want a rifle or want a shotgun? I call a shotgun. Old Yellow's my dog. I'll do it. And Sally says, Old Yellow's my boyfriend. I'll do it. How long have you two been together? And Sally says, oh, I've been screwing that dog since you got it. And they're inside. The mom and dad's face are like looking awkward, and Jimmy says, we should probably got a female dog, so this wouldn't happen. And the dad says, just be glad you're not like your sister, son. And they go out there and load the shotgun, and then Sally wins up and says, Yo, Yellow's my dog, I'll do it. Oh, Yellow's my dog, I'll do it. You two are fighting over the gun, and that dog's got rabies, getting ready to bite. So the dad runs out there and says, you two know better than to fight over a gun when a dog has rabies. Takes the gun away, give me that. And he stomps dog's head down and shoots it. Oh, Yellow's my dog now. And smashes his skull against the rocks. Kicks his head a few times, takes a knife and gets on top of it, starts stabbing the crap out of dog, and said, who's all in favor of certified, homemade, real hot dogs? Let's get the neighbors involved, but we gotta slaughter a pig first, so they mix the dog meat with the hot dog meat, and that's really messed up, so they won't think they're eating dog meat, they'll think they're eating pork. So he drags the dog's bloody body out to the barn, shoots a pig with the shotgun, and then slaughters the pig, grinds them up, and then cooks on the grill and the next morning he gets the neighbors involved and says, this meat's really good. Yeah, well, this is really good hot dogs. These are the best hot dogs I ever had. Really good hot dogs. So about the time that happens, Jimmy's sad. So he says, you want that American Girl doll back? You could have it back. Yeah, have it back. No, you keep it. You don't have to charge me for it. I'll let you have it for free. I know you need something to cope your pain from the loss of Old Yellow. So thank you. Do I have to owe you any money? No, it's free. I got plenty of them at home. And you got plenty of them in my room and got plenty of money from that one. They eat back to start eating homemade hot dogs. And said every dog you get here has rabies. Why he said every single dog we get here has rabies, and we have to put it down. But they've been eating it for generations. Every time they get a dog, gets rabies. Old Yellow was the 5th dog of the generation of the family. The last dog is the prequel of Old Yellow, would be Cinnamon Roll, which was the girl's dog. She shot down. And they took cinnamon roll, mixed them in with some cinnamon roll hot dogs with Chicago dogs with sauerkraut, and they ate the dogs. They get the neighbors involved, and then they like cinnamon rolls and hot dogs. But that's the end of the story. The end, and they all Um,